Can I interject for one moment?
No.
Because I was, yeah, this is my show, Stephen. This is a formality of me saying that. I'm just going to keep talking. But I was thinking about something earlier, and you just kind of went right into it right there. And I was thinking in my head, because I had this whole video the other day how I hated sales, and I kind of explained one part of sales that made my skin crawl. And you say you set out because you wanted to make the customer satisfied, and when there was an issue, you wanted to man up and take care of it. And I think that's a good thing. And here's my thought on this: to be a good service company, in just a service industry kind of way, service company, you have to be willing to fail to take care of the customer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that encapsulate what you are doing? And I don't intend anybody to fail. I'm just saying, people have crisis of conscience there. If I tell someone I did this wrong, we're going to lose money. I already don't have any money. We're going to have an issue. So you have a conflict right there. Are you the type to say, well, we're going to do it anyway?
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah. That's real tough.
If I've screwed it up, I mean, I've had 2 instances where we had float switch problems on either major repairs or after an installation, and we've caved in 2 ceilings, and that sucks. Like,
that does suck.
You take what was a profitable job and you just completely erase it. You'd be better off having said, no, I hate you. I don't want to do any work for you at all.
Or just never show up again, never answer the phone again, because that's what happens, right? That's what the industry not is known for, but like the cautionary tales, they line up around. He doesn't answer his phone anymore.
Yep.
And I'm glad that's an extreme difference there. The guy who just runs his company to the ground to serve the customer, and the guy who just never answers the phone.
Yep.
But it's hard to make that decision. And I do think that you're one of the guys who would do it. That's why I entered the conversation.
There's been times that I've wanted to do not necessarily charity jobs, but work for people that needed it, that couldn't afford us, where we haven't, because we don't have the revenue surplus, I guess. But if I've made a call and it ends up being right, wrong, or the bad call, I stand behind my decision and I'll make it right, whether it's, losing money or putting egg on my face.
Have you had any issues in particular that were stand out in this area that you had to do something like that, or just run of the mill?
I put in a compressor once that wasn't necessary until I found out.
Misdiagnosed?
Yep.
Okay. I don't think, you're smiling, but I think everybody in here has probably done that. They just might not say it. Yep. Something along those lines, but okay.
That is the one that probably was the most embarrassing, most painful, because it literally took me hours of a day, probably 6 hours or so, to get this compressor. It was on a rooftop.
Oh my gosh.
And I got the new compressor in there. I was proud of myself because, hey, I got it finished. Turned the power on and it sounds like it's running backwards, just like the old one. I was like, why am I doing this? And it turned out to be the contactor had a lost leg, and I completely missed it.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good of you. I've been, honestly, I've been in situations like that in the past, and I have not done the right thing. Honestly speaking, there's no point in running and hiding. But that's good. I think, and I admire that. That's really, really good that you did that, because sometimes that can cost you more than you think you can bear when you do something like that. So that's good.